I sacrificed my rook in real life and my opponent resigned. Earlier this month in December 2025, I went to a tournament here in Vancouver, and unfortunately in the first round of the tournament I got paired with an international master. Of course I lost, but the next two rounds I was able to win and qualify to the quarterfinals. And then I beat a 2600 player to qualify to the semifinal. And unfortunately for me again, it was not my lucky day. I got paired with the same international master and lost to him again. And then that was the end of the tournament. And after the tournament, we played a few games with some other strong players around. And in this video, I'll show you two games I played with a 2200 rated player, showing you my thought process, and enjoy the video. So game started with e4. I played the Sicilian defense. It developed, I developed. It pushed d4. I took, it went into my favorite variation of the Sicilian, which is called the Kalashnikov variation. And then here he moved his knight, which is the main book move. I played d6, which is also the book move. And he played c4 here. Here the book move is actually, he brought his knight back. And here I was thinking, why is he going to block his own knight's development? But I don't know what he was thinking. And then I developed my knight. He played bishop here. I brought my queen to a5. I brought my bishop out to e7, ready to castle. It did the same. And I castled here. I feel like, okay, now all our pieces are developed, and he castled as well. Now my plan is to prevent his knight from getting here, planning to develop my bishop, and which I did, because I don't want his knight here. That would be terrible. That would be a very strong knight. He put his knight there. I captured it immediately because I don't want knight there. Here I put my knight back here just to reroute to this square, because he took with a pawn and his other knight is still undefended. So he developed his other knight, and I brought my knight back because I wanted to start an attack on the king side. I wanted to push f5 right away and go for the attack, right? But yeah, bringing this knight back was best. So here my opponent pushed that. I go with my attack, f5 straight up. And now he's thinking, he doesn't know what I want to do. Maybe I'm gonna push or take. But I was planning to just expand on the king side. So he decided to go f4 himself. And here I played a tactic that allowed me to win a pawn. I saw that if I distract the bishop away from this diagonal, I can check and win this pawn. So I took on f4, distracting the bishop, and gave him a check on b6. And now he moved his king, and I took the pawn on b2. He brought his queen out, and here I was scared that my queen was going to be trapped. I was scared. I should have just retracted the queen back and continued playing the game. But I left my queen in danger for too long. I was going for the queen, attacking, and also I want to develop my knight. That's what I was doing here. So gaining a tempo on the queen while developing my knight on the next move was my plan. But my queen is in a very bad spot, and if I'm not careful, it's gonna get trapped. Again, he created a threat here. I mean, there's a checkmate threat once he moves his bishop. I think I double attack on this pawn. Look at this battery. So his moves came with tempo, and I had to respond. So by him not giving me a chance to consolidate, here I lifted up my rook to defend, and then the second rook came in and my queen was trapped. I mean, I had this square. The queen is defending this. Beautiful coordination. And here I was thinking, I knew I was in trouble. Look at my face. I knew I was in big trouble. I was thinking of a way out for my queen, and the only square was here. Yeah, which I did. And then my opponent had a response for me. Rook here, defended by the knight, and my queen is finally trapped. There's no way out, no way out, no way out. I think a way to survive this situation would have been bringing the knight here, threatening his own queen, and then if he takes, he can't even move the knight because of the knight is tied to the defense of the two rooks. But it's a very nice idea, and if he doesn't take, I can take the knight, but I was already losing here. So I played a desperado, attacking his own queen with the hopes that if he takes, I can take this knight. And my opponent took my queen instead, as he's supposed to. Then I took his queen, and then he took back and is winning at 4.4, as you can see the evaluation bar. I took the center pawn. He took that pawn with an attack on my knight. I used that opportunity to develop my other knight while protecting this, and this is protecting this, so everything is protecting each other. But it was a very bad situation I was in. I brought the other bishop, trying to go here, but the knight is again protecting, but it's still a very bad position for me. You can see him smiling here. He knows he's winning. He knows he's winning, and look at me sweating. I know that I'm in big trouble here. And my opponent, he just needs to find a winning tactic here, which he did. I pushed here, attacking the bishop, and immediately I did that, I realized that, oh, this is a lost game, because he can gain access to the 7th rank if he wants. But again, my opponent played principled, attacking my rook one more time, and I moved my rook with a check. He moved his king to g1, and now I just blundered my knight. Yeah, as I blundered that knight, and I resigned. Yeah, look at his smile, smiling. I just resigned here because there was nothing else to play for. So I asked him for a rematch, and he granted me one. Yeah, it's been a long day. We've had a very nice tournament, and I've been playing casual games, and this was the last game of the night before I headed home. You can see me, I was stretching, I was tired. But I was like, no, I have to get this guy back. He beat me one time, I have to revenge. So again, I was white in this game. So I played e4, best by test. He played e5, best response. I developed my knight, he developed his. This is called the Scotch Game. It took, and I went for the Goring Gambit. If it had been Sicilian, this would have been Smith-Morra Gambit, but it's called Goring Gambit because it's the Scotch Game. And yeah, so he played the main line, which is d5. I took, it took, and I just played knight here, which was a blunder in the opening. It took, and I took back. And now he gave me a check. I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be bad. I'm already losing from the opening. And now he gave me a check. I blocked with my bishop. He developed southern knight ready to castle. And I think I castled here right away. If you check the evaluation bar, you can see that he's already leading. Now he castled. I was thinking how I could, make adjustment to my position and hit him with tempo. So here, yeah, I developed my bishop and planning to connect my rooks. Here I was thinking how I could, I didn't take this pawn right away because I know that, I don't want to exchange because I'm down a tiny bit, but I just wanted to play for. So he brought his knight back because he doesn't want to exchange and have doubled pawns, and also putting a threat on this c3 pawn. So I quickly attacked his queen, gaining tempo on the queen. He went queen here, and I took the pawn finally. Now he can't take because takes, and I give him the discover check to win the queen. Of course he saw that, and then Yeah, he brought his knight to f4, threatening checkmate here. So I had to give up my bishop. The only other, so yeah, I had to give up my bishop because this is also under attack. So takes. And now I push h3 because I don't want anything coming to g4. I don't want any pin situation. And now he played king here. Now he can actually take this pawn because after takes, this is no longer a discovered attack. So it's a very nice move to get out of that threat. So he's threatening to win a pawn. And I played rook here. And he finally took the pawn. I took back. It took back, but that was all I needed. I needed a way to tackle his queen with tempo. I activated my queen on f3. And his queen is in the center, but it's ready to be attacked. I wanted to bring my rook and activate all my pieces and go for the attack. Here, my opponent developed his bishop. I brought my centralizing my rook. I have some sort of discovery going on. Even if it's not check, at least it's an attack on the queen. And he has to move his queen away from the d file, which he did, attacking this pawn. So I played here, threatening checkmate here. I knew he was going to push this and allow me to check on e file, which was very nice. That was my whole idea, creating weaknesses for my opponent. He pushed g6. I checked him on e5. He can't push f6 because he's going to lose this guy. So I had seen that in my calculation. And now he's thinking of a way. I mean, he has 2 pawns to take, but I don't know if it's in his best interest to take those pawns. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I was thinking of a plan here. The time situation is pretty much equal at this point. We both have 1.5 minutes. And look at me, I was just finding a way. I was like, yes, let's just go for the attack. h4, allowing and tempting the queen to go here just so I can lift my rook. This is called attraction. And he took, and I lifted up my rook, and that was the rook lift I needed. I wanted to cut his queen off this side of the board. Then he brought his queen back to e7, and now I knew that if I can get my rook here somehow and sack my rook, and if this other rook can magically disappear here, we will have checkmate somewhere along that line. So with that line of thought, I know I can't go here right away, so I had to protect that square, even though I'm, creating light square weaknesses for myself. Yeah. I went back with the queen, allowing this pin to be active. And now I push g3, enabling my rook to come to the h file because I want to sack my rook. So that was my whole idea here. And now my opponent played c3, c6. Then I continued with my plan. He went here. And then this was where it gets crazy. So I wanted to bring my king up to get this rook. So my plan was I wanted to bring king up here, sack this rook, and then here. But he has a light square bishop, and he can always check me. And that was going to be dangerous. So here I did. Yeah, so I played king up. He can't check right away because I still have a light square bishop as well. So he can't check me. The moment you've been waiting for. And in this position, I left my bishop to be exchanged because I had seen that I can sack my rook. King up. Beautiful move. So he took my bishop, and then I hit him with the... And in this position, white sacrifices the rook. Sacrifice. I mean, yeah, I was threatening checkmate here, and if he takes the rook, I hit him with this and checkmate on the 8th rank. But again, nobody saw the evaluation bar here. He was winning but he couldn't see. So I sacked my rook, and my opponent was thinking, "Oh my goodness, it was a brilliant." He called it a brilliant move, and he could not find a way out because I was threatening checkmate. He can't take the rook. He didn't know he was still winning. He tried his best by giving me a check. I just prevented the check by doing this, and it took. I had to take back with the queen, with the king, and you can see even if he takes this rook, I'm gonna checkmate him here, and he can't take this rook as well because of this. It's gonna be mate. So here, he was thinking, was finding a way out for his position. And here, the only move that can save him is actually rook to d3 check, because that forces one of my pieces to go to a square they don't want to go to. Else I'm going to lose my queen, right? So if he does rook d3 check, if I take with the queen, he can then take this rook because I don't have the same idea anymore. If the rook takes, he can still take this guy, and I don't have the idea again. But here, after I took back, my opponent, thought and he could not find a solution to the problem, and he just simply resigned. Yeah, he just simply resigned. Good game. Yeah, good game. GG's.